Luke, unless you got something, Todd.
What? No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
go ahead. He was just looking at me very combatively.
Throughout this year, when you've kind of spoken about your mindset and where the team stands, a lot of like positive energy, positive reinforcement. When you where'd you adopt that mantra? Was that something specifically to this year? Because now you have a leader like LeBron has been saying that this week.
No, it's just part of who I am as a person. You take a job like this, you sit down and look at your characteristics and the characteristics you want your team to have. And we're fully aware of how difficult this job can be, but we're also should be aware of how blessed we are to have our jobs. So we come into work and play basketball every day, and we should be pretty upbeat about that and excited about that opportunity.
Luke, in the Memphis game, Bruno Caboclo hit a wide open three with about 2:30 left in the fourth quarter. Was there a coverage mistake on that play, and if so, what was it?
Boy, we were blitzing Conley, right? So they did a nice job, but we wanted LeBron to be the rotation man to Valanciunas or Noah, whoever was going to be out there, and him rotate to that big. Now they did a nice job. We had gotten a couple stops, and they did a nice job of switching their locations and putting a single side tag away from where LeBron was at. So he was going down to do the coverage, and at some point when guys are hurting the all-stars, you gotta make other guys hit shots, and he did a nice job of stepping up and knocking down a three.
Is Kuzma supposed to rotate off of the blitz on that onto Caboclo?
No, it's supposed to stun him off, get back, make him think about that shot a little bit. But like I said, Conley, we weren't getting stops on Conley, and they were, their bigs were hurting us rolling to the rim. So you gotta take something away.
So is that the shot you wanted to give up there? Is that
well, we didn't anticipate giving up that open of a shot, but yeah, it's similar to some of the other game plans we've had where you got to live with certain people shooting, you take the ball out of other people's hands, especially late in the game. And you just got to give that young man credit for knocking it down.
Luke, you've been on a lot of teams with a lot of different high-profile superstars. I think, maybe particularly in the last week, there's been a lot of sort of dissecting of what LeBron is saying after losses in the locker room. I mean, how do you kind of deal with what he says and sort of the warping of what he says and the words he uses?
Well, yeah, that's why I try not to, and I encourage our players not to pay attention to a lot of that, because a lot of it will get twisted, and those headlines will read something totally different than what was said. So it's no different than anything else we've been preaching all year from the get, and that's let's worry about our group, and we're the ones that are gonna make things happen or not. So we can't let outside distractions get in our way.
Do you still worry about that has an influence, even though you tell guys not to listen to it?
No, what's Warren gonna do about it? We gotta come in and do our jobs, and right now we gotta do some things a lot better, and that's where my focus and time.
I guess just piggybacking off of what Boone was asking, not so much worrying about.
Sorry.
Not so much worrying about it, but even if you're telling them not to pay attention to it, they're early 20s guys with phones, like they're gonna see it, and they're gonna see the way that it's being perceived, and they're gonna see people saying LeBron was ripping his teammates. What do they need to sort of understand in order to, having seen that, not let it get to them?
Well, it's not what they need to understand. It's just what's our priority. What's where is our mind? And it shouldn't be on that. Those guys know LeBron. They got good relationships with LeBron. The culture we try to build down here is supportive of each other. So it's that stuff's gonna happen. We just have to go through and do our job and not let that seep into the way that we play for each other and with each other.
Over the years, you've talked about how so much of a part of your job is the human side of this and the relationship side and the relationships that you value with your players, maybe even more than the tactical side at times. How much have you been investing over this stretch on that first element, just the human element? How much do you feel like you needed to put in on that?
Well, that's nothing. I won't say. That's more of day one stuff. Like, let's put in our culture day one so that we don't have to, all of a sudden if something comes up, it's total chaos around here. The only thing I've done different is addressed it a few times, and for the most part, I don't like to address, outside issues like that at all. But occasionally, I feel like it needs to be said, and I like putting things out there so we can move past. But the way that we interact coming in day one is kind of part of that reason, is to set the culture so we don't have to do more later on.
Last question, please.
Was there a recent address, like post
No.
New Orleans? Okay.
No, not at all. We just, nothing more than the film session where we got to be better. And that's the bottom line. It's on both ends of the ball. We got to be better.